folk singer with us. Thanks for coming by.
I'm a folk singer?
I think you are. You're folky. You got some folk
How
music.
fucking dare you?
No? You don't think
No, I'm not a folk singer.
okay, tell me
That's
because
like calling Elliott Smith's music folk. It's not
I'm
folk.
getting singer-songwriter Bob Dylan, Kings of Leon vibes. Like, I love
Okay,
Aspartame, listening to him.
yeah, singer-songwriter for sure. I wouldn't say that's folk, but
No.
I get what you're saying. I
It's
would say it's like,
storytelling, which I think is kind of like you have
okay,
stories that you're telling during your music, which I like,
yeah,
which I would put in like a folk category. So, okay, I'm curious. Tell me
that's
why
interesting.
you're like, no, thank you.
I just don't see myself as a folk singer,
Okay.
because there's no like huge moral at the end. Like typically folk music has like this moral at the end. I just don't see my music like that. I've written folk songs before and I can show you specifically what they are, but I think my music is alternative rock. Just
Okay.
simply, it's like it's indie rock, um, alternative, and there's like a modern take on grunge with it, especially Aspartame. It's like I was literally ripping off of Nirvana. I mean, it's obvious. A lot of people have been comparing my voice to Kurt Cobain for a while, and
Yeah.
I just figured I'd kind of like lean into it more. And
See,
like
I don't think you need to have a moral at the end of a folk story. And I love Kurt Cobain. I love Where Did You Sleep Last Night and In the
mhm.
Pines. And to me, that's like storytelling.
Absolutely,
I
but
think
that's
it's
not folk.
fascinating.
That's not folk.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
more grunge.
it is. Yeah, and Where Did You Sleep Last Night? I mean, like that's an old like blues song from Leadbelly,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
But his versions, like sometimes you know what I found again the other day is Ryan, what's his name? I just
Adams.
it Ryan Adams
Mhm.
Wonderwall's version. I like that the best. It's so
It's
good. It's so
it's a great
raw.
version. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's on par with the original for sure. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's better to me, but like I do lean into like acoustic kind of sounding stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, like I perform with an acoustic guitar. I write with an acoustic guitar. Yeah, Ryan Adams is great. He's super funny on stage too.
He is. He's like a comedian. The director of The Hangover, Todd Phillips, is who first said in LA, you gotta go see him. You gotta.
Mm.
And so I was like, okay. Um, so I just found out you're in Carmel, which I love that area. I love Shadowbrook. I don't know if you ever performed there. And I used to live in Monterey, and my family's out in the 831. There's so many good restaurants and little beach cafes for you to set up and play for good ambiance. Do you do that?
I do. Yeah, I've been doing that for a living for like 6 years, 6 or 8 years. It's kind of a blur. I
Wow.
recently just got a goddamn job,
I
but
hate those. I'm not about
fucking
it.
jobs, man. But
No, I'm not.
yeah,
I hang out at the skate park, dude, and with my kids and just rage all day and I podcast when I want. Like, I don't really work. It's just not my
yeah,
thing. It's not my vibe.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
just look
So I
for young
mean,
hot guys.
I can play for a living around here, but shit just gets dire when I do that. So I did start a job around here making bread somewhere. But yeah, there's a lot of restaurants around here that I'll play.
Literally making bread or
Literally
making
making bread.
bread. Like,
Both,
no,
both.
both. You're making
Yeah,
money off making bread. How
yeah.
many people come hit on you when you play at the restaurants and stuff? Does that ever happen?
It happens. It's man, like when it rains, it pours.
And then there's
When
a dry spell. That's with
yeah,
me
there's a
too.
dry. And I'm like I'm going through my own like putting myself back together again.
Yeah.
It's like a recent breakup, but yeah,
I'm
when I
sorry.
was with my girlfriend, it was like pretty nonstop, of course.
Yes.
And then now it's like I find myself approaching and it not really working out. And like I'll meet people online. And it's just like they don't look like their pictures or anything. So I think it's God's way of telling me like, hey, just work on yourself first. But yeah, I get hit on pretty often.
I used to hit on
And
guys that
I'm
performed at
also
restaurants.
I'm a guy too, so it's like sometimes I'm just fucking oblivious to it.
Yeah. You need them to
Sometimes.
come right out and spell it out. And I feel you. I feel like when
Well,
I'm in a
here's
relationship, I get hit on more. And when I'm single, I don't have as big, or the roster's so big, it's overwhelming. And to be honest, I'm old.
mm,
And so now I just want to go home and go to bed. I don't know.
yeah, funny story. I was playing. There's this restaurant here in Carmel that I play called Edwin's, and I chose to play even on a night that I wasn't supposed to be playing. I just played for like 20 minutes, and the crowd was just so fucking rowdy. I just cut my set short because it wasn't worth it. and I was gonna grab my guitar, and there's this group of like 3 cute girls, and I, like made a comment like, "Oh, you girls would dance with my guitar over here." And this girl just like started rubbing her ass against my guitar, and I was like, "Oh shit, she's getting down now." She's like, "Yeah, your guitar gets more action than you do." I was like, "Damn, girl, like fucking calm down. It's a little you're coming in hot
And then
here."
did she not go home with you?
No, but she did give me her Instagram. She
Okay.
wanted me to go and hang out this other club that I didn't really want to hang out at, and I could tell she kind of wanted me to buy drinks, and I was like, no, no,
No.
not doing that. No,
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
set a boundary here.
Well, I want a guy to buy me drinks, but I'll be honest, if you're into someone or not. Now that we're a little bit older, I'll say I want to go anywhere if I think the guy is so fascinating and hot and cool.
Hmm.
I'm like, I'll go out past 10 p.m., which isn't really my favorite thing. So I know I canceled a date last weekend because I was on the fence. And I'm like, wait, if I'm like, I don't know if I want to go out, why would I go on this date? Like, you will
Hmm.
move mountains if you really dig somebody.
Yeah, exactly. And I offered for her to come with me and my friend to like this other club with her friends, and they're like, "No, we're gonna stay here." I was like, "Okay, well,
No,
you know,
yeah, like, I want you to
I
be
just can't
obsessed
make
with
that
me.
work." Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like I'm testing you too.
yeah, lots
Yeah.
of tests. Okay,
Mm.
and then I thought you have a song, Star 67. I'm having that issue right now. My crazy ex is calling me from a blocked number all the time, and I'm like, I
Mm.
know it's him. Like, he'll leave a voicemail sometimes drunk and sometimes not.
Mm.
Did you have that similar experience? Is that what that song is about or something different?
Mhm. Yeah. Absolutely. I didn't even know what Star 67 could do
Me
before
too.
my ex. Yeah. And, it's just like the magic of songwriting. You just like, I'm writing the song and it just like, I'm coming up with like a various melody in the verse. And that just kind of flew out. Kind of like the word aspartame. It's like, I didn't even know what aspartame was when that came out while I was writing, or 8-track. And yeah, it just flew out and it made sense. And it wound up being the title and like the premise of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that song a lot.
I love that song. And I
Yeah, you haven't
think
even heard the whole song. You're like, oh my god, I love Star 67.
Well, no, even the first minute, I'm like, okay, I vibe because when you go through breakups and you're having like a shitty time, those are my favorite. I dance. And so to
Mhm.
choreograph a dance routine is actually better when I'm depressed or I'm frustrated and I don't know what to do. I'm not a huge fan of happy songs and
Did I?
happy, like it just, the art isn't as interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you associate, that's what I was going to say, your music, but you already said with storytelling and you you'd say it is storytelling, but not in the folk sense.
I just use what's happening in my life in a way where I'm allowing my subconscious to enter the creative flow and talking about what's happening around me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think of it as a sense of like walked into a bar and like, met this person, and I'm not trying to go from A to B to C to D. It's kind of just like a collective collage of whatever's happening around me.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
did you
So
start playing music? Like, when did you get into it?
I started playing bass when I was 13,
Okay.
thanks to Guitar Hero. I was playing Guitar
Yeah.
Hero with my
I
friends,
love
and I was
Guitar
like,
Hero.
I wanted to be that Mohawk punk rocker because I was like really into punk rock at that time. And I felt like guitar was too hard. I had friends that played guitar, and I don't know, I was low sense of self worth, I guess. And I started playing guitar when I was 18 because I was so fucking terrible as a student in high school. I was a really troubled young kid. I'd been like really fucked with. There's a lot of trauma I was dealing with, and it was really bottled up, and nobody knew for a while. And so I was like smoking pot and just going out and doing ecstasy with friends. And yeah, I was just a really troubled kid, and my dad was not going to put me in college, and I had no aspirations for college either. And he told me, he's like, I'll buy you a guitar, and like you could write songs and you get all the chicks, just like try it out. I was like, okay, getting all the chicks sounds fun. So that's what I immediately started writing songs.
Yeah.
It just worked because I always wrote poetry. I tried to write songs on bass, and that just didn't really pan out. So playing guitar and singing just felt really natural, and I just worked at that.
That's cool. I liked playing Guitar Hero too. And then I started playing guitar at 14. And I just wanted to be around guys and bands, and that's why I started, because I knew I wanted to bang musicians. That's just my type, and
Mhm.
I sucked at guitar, though, so I stopped after a couple years, and I just realized, okay, I'll get into radio, because that's another way I could get close to banging guys and bands. So,
Yeah.
it works
Steph,
out
I
either
wish
way.
there were more girls like you out in the world.
They are. They're the female
They're not in
DJs.
Carmel. Tell you that much.
No, no, they're
Nope.
too expensive. I'm gonna be honest. I tell people this all the time. So I needed to take a break off of Hollywood for a year. That's why I went to Monterey, thinking I would take a break. I had so much ass in Monterey because there's not a lot of young females. I was
Mhm.
25, you know?
Mhm.
It's such an expensive area to rent, and I
Mhm.
got help, like, my grandpa paid my rent. So, and it's a, military base right up the street from my house. So I swear to God, it's 90% men, and then the women that were there were, like, 40 and over. So I just
Mhm.
had this, like, huge pick. I was like, I gotta go back down to LA and get ugly and have to work to meet guys again. Like, it was just too much confidence boost in Monterey.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. It's too expensive to
It's
live. It's
very expensive
beautiful.
here. Yeah, and I'm from Hollister, and it's crazy. Like Hollister's just as expensive to live
Yeah.
nowadays because the whole Silicon Valley boom. Um, so I mean, I'm really fortunate. Like it's gorgeous over here, but yeah, there's not a lot of people my age. This isn't exactly the best area for me to be like playing shows.
You should come to Sacramento sometime. I'll be like, I talk shit on Sacramento. I grew up here and then I left, in 2004. Came back so many years later in 2015. Love it now. Like, it's underrated. It's affordable. We have a huge music scene. There's so many little clubs and coffee shops to play, but you can park for free. And so it's a younger generation. It's a
Okay,
lot of 20-year-olds starting out. And so I think it's a very underrated music city, Sacktown.
I
Rock.
would definitely tour through it. In terms of like moving somewhere for music right now, I'm not set on anything just yet. Like I had to get my life together,
Yeah.
like so Aspartame, the whole record was recorded in December 2021.
Oh, wow.
And I know, and I was a fucking train wreck at that point. Like
Really?
COVID destroyed me. Like I was already an alcoholic. I was already trying to stop in 2019, and I was like California sober. I'd smoke weed and like do mushrooms and all these other vices in order to like not drink. And it's like I would always cave in and like go on my benders and stuff. And I was just drinking by the time COVID hit, and I was devastated.
Yeah.
I was on tour for the first time with my band, and I was in Austin, Texas when everything shut down, and it's just like I just went back home with my tail between my legs, and I was just devastated. I felt so bitter about everything, and I just started day drinking. I just quit trying when it came to
Yeah.
bettering myself, and I stayed drunk for like 2 years. And
Damn. I love a bender. Trust. I love drugs and
mm,
alcohol back in the day. And but I think like a 2-3 day bender is my max. And then I gotta slow down,
yeah,
But I definitely have been there. I've been through ebbs and flows. I just on Monday, was like, oh, I can have a mimosa with my girlfriend. No, we ended up on a bender.
yeah,
And it started out with like mimosas in the morning with brunch. And we're like, how the hell did that happen?
yeah. But that's a like fun bender. I was on the
It
kind of
was.
bender where I was like, I want to escape everything and just feel some sort of peace,
Yeah.
anything in order to get away from this like bitter rage, that's this smoldering anger that I'm feeling. And so I stayed drunk for 2 years. And in that process, I wrote Aspartame right before COVID. And that set like a precedent for the kind of sound that I was going for. It's kind of like indie rock, grunge, 90s. And I just kept on writing in that process. And I had like this toxic relationship going on. And there was like
I
some,
love those. Those are my
oh, yeah,
favorite.
it was really bad. She came from an alcoholic household. Her parents would fight to the point where like cops would come, and like they're divorced and stuff. But she'd been 5150 a few times.
Those are
She'd
my
gotten
favorite.
Yeah, she'd
The
gotten
best sex.
violent. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it was all
I
right.
guys that hit me that have substance abuse issues and alcoholism, they are my favorite relationships. It's a roller coaster. I don't know if they're gonna try to break in my house, but they're gonna bang good. The
Yes,
grippy
it's
socks. There's a
true.
correlation
It
between.
is true.
Yeah.
I've been told. And so we had a good ass time. and I wound up in jail
Oh my
shortly after
God, a
recording.
really good time. That's how a
Yeah,
good
shortly
time
after
is.
recording Aspartame, it was December 2021. I was in jail by February.
Holy
That's
shit.
how that's how crazy my spiral was getting. I remember being in the studio, um, and the producer, he's vexed by me. It's
Yeah.
like just drunk, and he was a cool dude. Like we drank together, we had a good time, but he was. It went from concerned to annoyed to scared because
Oh,
my spiral went like the breakup happened with this toxic girl before I went to jail, and I was like obsessed with Charles Manson.
oh wow.
And
Zach, you sound like you're just a shit show and a felon. You're turning me on. Stop. Like, is this like a dating app I'm reading
all
where I'm
right,
like, check, check, check?
I'm calling the boys. We're touring to Sacramento.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, he sounds like a fucking train wreck. I'm in.
But I got better. Here's the thing,
Oh, not
so
attractive. Not
she
into it.
turned me
All right.
into a newt, but I got better.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Did you go? Wait, is
yeah,
there jails in Carmel? Like, are they nicer?
there's the Salinas jail. That's the jail here, and it's
Oh, you're like the
yeah.
only white-ish guy there.
Am I white? Do I look white to you?
I don't like partly whiter than the guys picking strawberries in Salinas. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
that's for sure. Yeah, I ain't no paisa.
You
Yeah,
speak English, but because I
yeah.
go to Salinas a lot. There's like motorcycle competitions that I go out there a lot
Oh,
for.
you like motorcycles?
Oh yeah, I grew up on the back of my dad's bike, and I love
Uh,
riding. So Moto America's out there, and
I gotta show
you
off
do.
this bad boy.
You do not. Do you have a bike too?
Yeah, I do.
No,
There he
dude.
is.
All right. Bad news bears. You like toxic relationships, play music, and have a bike. That is
Yeah.
all bad.
No, I'm the whole package.
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah.
and my music sounds good too. It's not shit.
That's
Take
legit.
pride in my
And I'm
music.
mentally unstable. I don't really work and I just hang out all day. So I'm a red flag for sure.
Yeah, that's a possible relapse for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's too much time on everyone's hands.
Yeah,
Okay. So wait, when you learn music, do you learn by listening or reading it?
listening. I
Okay.
can't read music. Yeah, I cannot read music.
Some of
Paul
the best
McCartney can't either.
musicians, though, cannot read music. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
it's a common thing.
yeah. I taught myself. I never took lessons.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Okay, can we do fun question time?
Okay. Yeah. Like, this is
Okay.
flying by, huh?
Well, yeah, because when I find out somebody is as nuts as me, I'm like, oh yay, that's exciting. That, like I said,
Let
I've
me
been to
guess.
jail.
You're an Aries, huh?
How
It's written all over you.
no wait, what are you?
Oh, I'm not saying.
Okay. Okay.
It's
You
no
know what I
fun.
will say? Okay,
You could
get how
guess.
no, all I know is I don't understand this. I don't want to believe in astrology, but tell me why. I dated a lot of musicians all over the world, and they've either been a Pisces or a Virgo. And like Pisces, Virgos, and people that play music are very common. So that's just crazy. But I don't know. I'm not good at
Well,
guessing, but everyone guesses that I'm an Aries or a fire sign in general because I'm just
well, yeah.
batshit.
You have no filter. Yeah, which I
Yeah.
admire.
Okay.
It's refreshing to me.
It's
Yeah.
been well on the radio in the past, obviously.
Mhm.
Okay. Fun question time. Okay. Favorite place you have performed?
Oh shit, man. Oh, that's tough. That's tough to answer. It's a tie. It's a tie between the Crate Place in Santa Cruz and here at the restaurant Edwin's that I play at. And like Edwin's, it's like I'm not even playing my music most of the time. I'm playing covers and stuff, but people get fucking wild over there. They're all singing along to Neil Diamond and all the other popular covers that I know.
That's cool.
Yeah. The Crate Place though, I wasn't even performing. I was there and I wound up being on stage. It was like this Nirvana tribute night and it was Halloween. It was 2019, it was right before the world ended. And I
Yeah, I do.
on
I hate
stage.
like everything after 2020 has been weird. And like I
Yeah.
like people so much, so I'm a social person. So I hired strippers to perform in my garage for my neighbors. We built a bar in my garage so that way everyone could social distance kind of with it open. And I just watched really hot 19-year-old girls perform from Lake Tahoe in my garage to get through COVID because it was a dark time, in
Yeah.
my life. But thank God for those young girls that And I was
Thank
helping give back to the
those young
community.
girls.
I was
Yeah.
supporting women that couldn't strip at the clubs in my garage, and that's what got me through that
Oh,
entire
they were
thing.
performing like that. That's
Yeah,
way better.
no, I
Yeah.
paid for them to get naked in my garage, and I ended up, getting with one of them. But like, and Tiger
Ooh.
King and the strippers it helped my mental health because I like to go out. I like music. I like people. I like.
Was the Tiger King there?
No, he has
Oh,
called me from jail. It's been on my podcast, which is like, I love him.
that's
I have
awesome.
a tattoo for Joe Exotic. That's how. But no, I just mean watching that show because it came out right when it closed down, and it brought me a lot of happiness.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
okay, do you have a favorite meal, or like, what would your last meal be?
In and out.
Yeah,
I love
I
In
like
and
In and Out.
Yeah.
Do you ever do something that like sometimes I like the Flying Dutch? It's grilled onions, double cheeseburger, and then I'll add pickles in the middle of it. Do you ever do anything weird like that?
I've never done that. I just add extra chopped chilies. I do both kinds of the onions and extra toasted buns, and my fries well done.
Oh yeah, I like crispy fries. I don't
Yeah.
like soggy fries.
Give me that acrylamine. I don't want to live forever.
No, I'm like, I'll do avocado toast sometimes. I'll have some green juice to think I'm like doing something for my liver because it's been fucked for, a long time. But then like when it comes to I'm not a health nut or health freak. Like I like cigars. I'm gonna die when I'm gonna die. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about it.
Live fast, die young. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What other genres of music do you enjoy?
I really love Kanye West.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have pegged you. Well, I
Yeah.
like peg,
Kanye's
but
the fucking goat, man. He's the best at sampling when it comes to that kind of
he's
music.
good.
He's so good. I
And
love
I
his
love his
personality.
rants.
Me too. He's unapologetic. A lot of people rag on him, and I'm like, dude, he's fucking authentic, and like more people need to be like that.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love his no filter. And when he says something, people are taking him out of context. He's
Mhm.
saying something that really, like, I lived in Hollywood for 7 years, and the Jewish community does run Los Angeles. And he's not saying he hates anybody or anything. People are understanding he's speaking truth.
Yeah.
And what is your guilty pleasure show?
Guilty pleasure? I don't know if I believe in guilty pleasures. If I enjoy something, I enjoy it. Show as in like a podcast or like a.
Any show. I was kind of thinking reality show, but really could be any show.
I don't really watch a lot of TV.
I mean, it could be a Pornhub show, whatever
No,
show,
no, I don't do that anymore. That's another addiction too that I had to give up.
Oh, that's been my number one addiction my entire life.
Yeah.
That I have not given up. I don't know, like, I've controlled it better.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The standards have gone up.
Yes.
But that my number one problem has been sex addiction. And I've been vocal about that with people that, and it's rare for women. The older I get and the more people I talk to, it's more of a male thing. Like when I go to meetings, it's
Mhm.
men.
Mhm.
But and it goes hand in hand though, because when you're drinking or using drugs, obviously sex, all of that really does.
Best sex I ever had was on Molly and ecstasy after a Steely Dan concert. Oh my God. And she was an older woman too. And it's just like, she knew what she was doing. And
That
yeah,
sounds fun.
I think we fucked for like 2.5 hours straight.
See, I've never liked sex on drugs, and I've done all the drugs, everything. I can't finish. So, and that's like
Okay.
just
Yeah.
sucks.
I
You
feel
know what
you.
I mean? For me.
Yeah.
So it's not been horrible. It's
Not
okay.
even on ecstasy.
No, but I was gay
You
during
were
those 2
gay.
years. Yeah, I was only with
Oh,
women when I was in my 2-year ecstasy phase. So
well,
I haven't been with a
that makes sense.
man on
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So, but no, I don't, but I don't like them. It's a little bit of a desensitizer for me, but I hear it's
Mhm.
very common. Most men are like, "Oh, it's been the best on this," or I
I
like.
think it's better if you're on the tail end of it when you're coming down.
I've done the whole. I like honestly sober sex. That is my favorite thing in the entire world. Is not
Mhm.
one drink, nothing. The morning and like it turns into a 2 to 3
Morning sex
hour
is the best.
all morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like again and again, then all afternoon and nobody's on anything. That's
Yeah.
like my favorite. I know I'm getting old.
Now that I'm sober 16 months on the 26th.
Oh,
And
congrats.
yeah, sex is so much better. I mean, like my relationships are so much better with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
That Fixer Upper show with
It's like a
Joanna
house
Gaines.
fixer upper.
You know what I'm talking about? Joanna
No.
Gaines and Chip. Joanna's so hot.
Well, I have to look this up. I'm
Yeah.
okay with those shows, but like I'm really into like really shitty, like, Trailer Park Boy, you're in jail kind of shows that are
Yeah, I just
just
the Osbournes, man. Like I would watch the
that was
Osbournes.
good.
The Osbournes was the best. Yeah.
Yeah, like because Ozzy's all just like post drug rant. You can't really understand him, and he's scooting around the house, and Sharon's running the show. And like, yeah, it was a really good show.
Yeah. I just don't watch reality TV, so yeah. Guilty pleasure. No, I'm
No,
guilty about the things I enjoy.
that's a great point. You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I got teased because I started Love After Lockup like 5 years ago, and everyone teases me. And this last year, I'm like, no, you guys, the more people I've made watch it, it's for free on YouTube. They're like, oh, I get it. Like
Yeah.
people think they're falling in love with a prisoner, but they're being used by the prisoner when they get out, and it's a
Oh
train
yeah.
wreck.
Okay.
It's good. Okay, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a female?
Female, any day.
Thank you.
Fuck
And
yeah.
did you see that this was a big thing 2 months ago that
What?
women were asked on the street, like hundreds of women, if they'd rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a male, and the majority of all the women said a bear.
Yeah, they're saying that just to be facetious. Women
It's
need men.
weird.
They hate to fucking admit it, but women
I
need.
don't. I need a man. I love having a man. I love
Yeah.
my man being in charge of running the show. I
Yeah.
want to be second and stay home and you tell me where to eat.
Yes.
I don't want to make decisions like this. So I'm
Yeah.
just shocked that this feminist move has gone way too far that now you're all thinking a bear is more safe in the woods than a man. So I hadn't asked that question to a man. And I was like, if you picked bear, I was gonna be shocked, but who knows,
No. I mean, like, this whole gender war has just gone way too far.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's really sad. And there's a war on men. And I've been aware of that for a while.
I am
War on
afraid.
masculinity.
So I'm a mother of 2 boys, and it deeply concerns me that being a white male is kind of a scary thing right now. And,
Yeah.
you're looked
Straight
down
white male.
upon a straight
Yeah.
white male. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your job opportunities may be lower. It's just, I think things are going to swing the other way, right? Because we swung
Yeah.
so far one way. So
Of
everything
course.
ebbs and flows. But a couple years ago, I was just like, wow, are they going to be able to get into college because they're of English descent straight males? Like,
Yeah.
it's just nuts.
How old are they?
They are 12 and 10.
Okay. Yeah. They're little boys still. Yeah.
Yes. But I'm always mama bear. I'm thinking about the future, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh. Are you into decorating? Well, that's funny. You brought up a real estate show. Are you into decorating and furniture or no?
I mean, not really, but like my ex showed me that show, and I was like, this is actually a pretty cool show. The girl joined it. Like, I really like Eurasian girls, and she's like, that half white, half Asian, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm huge into decorating. Like when it's Halloween, yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But other than
you like
that,
them a little mixed.
like I just need like a fucking bed, my studio, my guitars, and like that's it. I don't really need much.
One time, one of the biggest dicks I ever had was half Asian. When people talk about, he was half Thai, half white, and he was just so hung.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. So it doesn't really matter what your ethnicity is.
Yeah. Agreed.
Does someone's vehicle choice say a lot about them?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it says who they are as a person, their character, but I mean it says, like what social status they are, what they care about. It's like I drive a van because I need to have equipment hauled around all the time.
And the motorcycle. Like, you got the motorcycle in the van. That's really how you have a rapist van that says free candy on the side. And you're like,
exactly.
Jump
in. It used to have a bed in it too.
Oh my God. Were you doing those films? Those van rapey films where you had girls jump in the back and you'd film with them? The bang bus. It's called the bang bus.
Bang bus. Oh,
yeah, dude. I would honestly, if
when
a guy
I was in jail, I thought about getting into porn. I was like, you know what, man, I need to fucking make some money. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah. I would have, if I didn't come from money, I would have gotten into porn. But like, I could always call someone for money, so I was like, I'll fuck for free. But if a hot guy like you pulled up in a raper van, I'd think about it. I'd be like, Maybe.
Thank you, Steph.
Anytime, anytime. Zach,
Yeah.
thank you so much
I'll get
for.
another bed.
Can you please, if you
Yeah,
roll up to Sacramento and you're on tour and you're like, hey, we'll have a quickie really quick, and then I'll go see your show and support you.
sounds good. It's a date.
Okay, it's definitely a date. Anything else coming up for 2025 and you and music and what you want to do or
Yeah.
accomplish?
So I'm releasing the rest of the Aspartame record. I've just been releasing single by single. I have 2 more songs to put out. The dates are to be determined on that. I'm going to do a release show in Monterey. I've got a show coming up on February 1st over at the Sportsman in Seaside. And yeah, I've got other music that I'm like recording and sitting on right now, such as like Star 67. So yeah, this professional studio record, the Aspartame one, is the rest of it's getting put out this year. And then I have more stuff that's just like me doing it, my indie stuff, my
Cool.
demos that will become more professional.
Indie, not folk. Like it.
Indie, not folk.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by Stefs Rock Show, and let us know anytime you come out to Sacramento.
I will. All right, Steph. Have a good one.
Sweet. You too.